Just getting it all out to everybody. You know how it goes. Got to let them know it's real. Because I'm telling you what, man, this is another tough one. I'm just not really sure what to do. I'm not really sure what's next, man. Hold on, let me get this going so we can get these calls popping as well. All right, we in here. We are in here. What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of The Warriors Way with your boy, Alan Styles, the only post-game show for the fans by a fan. And it's bittersweet. Look, Steph went off, Luka went off. It was a great game. This is exactly what the NBA loves to see. Adam Silver was probably just salivating watching this. And I've said this multiple times. Adam Silver, nobody loves the Warriors more than Adam Silver, because even when they're not outstanding, right? Like right now, you call them middle of the road team. They have Steph, and Steph is exciting. So he likes the Warriors, but he definitely likes Steph Curry. He loves Steph Curry, I should say. They couldn't get it done today. Steph drops 57, Wiggins 22, Bazemore with a 20, with the dub for the team. 132 to 134. The end of the game was crazy to me. I mean, I don't understand how you can't challenge the fact that the ball went out of bounds, because at the end of the day, the ball went out of bounds, and everybody saw that the ball went out of bounds. But even though the ball went out of bounds, you couldn't do anything about it. I don't really understand that and what the NBA can do to fix that. I understand it's in the flow of the game. Luka makes that big three. You can't stop it. Maybe you... I really don't know. I guess you can stop it in the act, right? And then you just the same thing with a foul. If everybody's calling it, I understand it's the foul stops the play, so it's a little tougher. But that was brutal. The bottom line was that, 132 to 134, there wasn't a lot of defense anywhere to be found. And the way I see it, the Warriors came out and they tried their darndest. If the Warriors play pretty much any other team today, I wouldn't say any other team, but 70% of the other teams in the NBA, they come away with the W today. Steph dropped 57. They come away with the W. Here's the problem. The problem is they gave the Mavs their worst loss of the season last game. Last game, they win by 30 in Dallas. They embarrassed them. Rick Carlisle tore them, ripped them apart. So what typically happens is usually the next team that a decent team, I think the Mavericks aren't playing up to their potential and up to their talent level. I don't think they're awful. They just haven't been playing awful. So what typically happens in that situation is the next team gets that. The next team gets hit with that. The problem is with these baseball series that the next team was the Warriors, because they keep playing each other over and over again. If the Warriors had beat the Mavs by 15, they probably win tonight, which is crazy to say and crazy to think about. They probably win tonight because you get disrespected like that at home. You're going to have something to say. You're going to feel some type of way about it. And that's what happened. The Warriors come out. They get the wrong end of the stick. But the only reason I'm not that upset about it is because we know they play the Spurs twice next. They're on this Texas road trip. You get two there. You get both against the Spurs, and now you went, 3-1 in Texas. That's great, because neither of these teams are outstanding. I think the Spurs they've been playing better than the Mavericks. I think the Mavericks, they got a star, and I don't think the Spurs do, no disrespect to DeMar DeRozan, but they have Popovich. Their star is their coach. So it's going to be hard to take two from them, but you can do it. And that's what we've struggled to see with the Warriors before. That's why they're 12-11. That's why they can barely get a winning record and hold on to the winning record. Every time they get a little bit of steam, something like this happens. So I'm not holding it against them per se, because you beat somebody by 30, they're going to be ready to go. And on top of that, the Warriors still came out and Steph drops 57. And Luka said, you know what? I'm going to do what I have to do. I'm going to drop 42 on you. Because people have been talking about me as well in a negative light. These are, the Steph slander has kind of calmed down because Steph has gone off after he dropped that 62 a month back or something like that. People chilled with that. But Luka, people have been on Luka. He's whining. First of all, I better see the same energy for James Harden. If this continues for Luka, I better see the same energy for all aspects. Doesn't play defense, loves to draw fouls. That first foul call of the game, or the first one against the Warriors for this game, Luka was dang near like slanted. He was slanted. That's how much he was leaning forward to get the call. That is ridiculous. And I thought, to be honest, it was too early in the game for a challenge, but I thought that was actually challengeable because that was awful. He did it again in the game. So if Luka continues to do that, I don't really know. There's no difference to me. I mean, Harden does more of the arm things and he'll get you once he's, in the lane. But Luka, those threes, and they all do it. They all do it. But Luka was literally leaning, like jumping into them. I haven't seen it that bad, and the refs rewarded it. So Luka's been whining. He's trying to draw fouls. It hasn't been a good look for him. You got to admit, though, at the end of the day, even with those terrible foul calls, he got it done. He got it done when it mattered, even though he only made that dagger three on a ball that went out of bounds. But that's just the homer in me talking. What do we got from Patrick Hubison? If the Warriors can't win a three-point contest, does this mean we have to sound the alarms? Pretty much. I mean, that's how it's starting to sound. Look, you get Kleber drops 16. Porzingis has been kind of balling. He drops 18. Dorian Finney-Smith drops 10. Josh Richardson 11. Tim Hardaway. It's kind of weird because it feels like all of his points came in the second half. I don't know if that's true or not, but it feels like it. But Kelly Oubre, that's the scary part about this. And I think to not want to sound the alarm, I'm just going to remember that the Warriors beat the Mavs by 30. If you beat a team by 30, they're going to try really hard to not lose again. And this might be different if the Warriors had different personnel. The Warriors probably had no business beating the Mavs by 30. Don't forget, Oubre put up a 40 spot. So if he puts up what his average is, which I'm assuming is somewhere around 12 to 15, somewhere like that, that game is not that close. The Warriors still win, but they're not winning by 30. So that's just the typical situation when one of your supplemental guys does not go off. And nobody else went off because Steph went off. Steph dropped 57, but you can't stop anybody on the other team. How many times, I'd have to look at the stats for the second chance points. How many times was it just tipping the ball in the air after a miss and the Mavs got it back? It reminded me of teams, you play at the Y, shout out the Y and Embarcadero. You play at the Y and you put your name on a chalkboard. And when you put your name on the chalkboard, you have no clue who's going to be on your team. Unless, once you've been there for a while, you start to know guys, okay, that's him. But sometimes if you see names you've never seen before, you have no clue. So sometimes you look around at your five once you get about to play, and you're like, okay, we ready to go. We got our big dude, we got our point guard, we got our shooting guard, we got guys. Other times, and this has happened to me, I'll look around and I'm the second, third tallest on the team. If that happens, you have a problem. And in those games, I had a big problem. If I'm guarding someone that's 6'2", it's going to be a long day for everybody involved. Besides the other team. It'll be good for them. And that's what I'm seeing with this Warriors team when they're sitting there jumping up and down, trying to grab the ball. 6'7" is the tallest guy on the team. Steph said he hasn't played on a team with 6'7" being the tallest guy on the team since high school. So they're going to have issues with that. They have the Nets next. Okay, so, excuse me. I thought they had... Oh, yeah, they have the Spurs twice in a row. The end of the... They kept on promoting the primetime game, so the next primetime game is against the Nets. I don't even care about that. I really don't. You got to win these two against the Spurs because you have the Nets. And the reason I don't care about the Nets is because, to be quite honest with you, I'm counting that as an L. So the L doesn't hurt as bad if you can get these two against the Spurs. You definitely have to win one, and you definitely cannot drop both of them. That would be very, very bad. I think it's still too early to freak out, but it's not that early anymore. Remember, this is a shortened season. So you don't have as much time to get your footing if you fall over one or two of the, have a rough patch here or there. You need Eric Paschall back, but he's not going to greatly help you in the size category either. So it's going to be a tough run for the Warriors. I'm looking at LaMarcus Aldridge. I'm looking at, that'll free things up for DeMar DeRozan. They're going to be ready to go. They're always ready to go. They just don't typically have the personnel. Side note, I did see one of these, I don't know if they're legit accounts anymore, but it was for the Spurs, and it was like, my hot take is if Patty Mills had 3 more inches, we'd be talking about him like we talk about Steph Curry. I don't know what type. I know weed is legal now. I don't know what type you're smoking, but I want to know how much it is. Just sometimes people have hard days. I'm just saying. Sometimes people have hard days because that is ridiculous. Sidebar. I saw that. I thought that was crazy. Max Nelson, Mahomes is a fraud. I think you might be in the wrong chat. Look, I'm a Raider fan, so I hate it when the Chiefs win, and I don't think Mahomes is a fraud, but thank you for your time. Let's see what the text line talking about. As always, 925-876-5730. You already know what it is. Maybe you don't. Now you do. Text line's popping. Oops, I forgot to send the link. My bad to the B-ball crew. Now we in there. So, yeah, it's a tough go, but the chat is ready. The text is ready, the call lines are ready. Everybody is just probably feeling very confused at this point. Confused because you're happy about what the Warriors have been able to do. But it's the middle of the road, and I saw another NBA writer for the Warriors, and I'm not, I don't name names on this. I don't need to. The problem the Warriors have had all season is that their consistency. They'll be really good one game and not good the next. In other news, the sky is blue, and a lot of people don't know if water is wet or not. If water is wet, technically speaking, surprise, surprise. Okay, I'm not really sure what the point of that tweet was. I love roasting tweets because a lot of annoying ones happen. And let me tell you, it made no sense to me because that's the struggle of any middle of the road team. If they were really good all the time, they wouldn't be middle of the road. I mean, what are we doing with that? What are we doing with that? Luka drops. Oop, no. Steph drops 7. The Warriors lose. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just tough. It's just tough because when a middle of the road team loses, typically you hope or you don't hope, but typically they just didn't show up, right? Or they just played a team that is better than them. Neither of those things happened today, and I think that is what is the tough part. The Warriors showed up, Steph showed up, and the Mavs aren't particularly better. They're not better than the Warriors, but they have a really good player. And to look at some of the negatives that you can pull from, turnovers. It's always turnovers with the Warriors. I mean, think about, and I can't remember if the Mavs scored on this play. The ball is headed out of bounds. Draymond grabs it right before or right after it touches. Mavs get the ball. The Warriors, Draymond again. I saw Draymond throw it away at least 3 times. 3 turnovers. Now he did a lot of good for the team, but he did a lot of not so good for the team. So the turnovers will hurt you. Like I said, offensive rebounds, and you're looking around thinking those are some of the reasons that you blew a 57-point explosion from Steph Curry that had everybody in the basketball world in awe. And Mike Breen, bang, bang. I mean, everything was lined up for Steph. And he showed up. He loves to show up on Saturday primetime, but it just wasn't enough. It just wasn't enough. And it wasn't the scoring. It was the defense and the turnovers. You can't do that. We do this every show. You look at the rest of the schedule. And I've been trying to say it over and over again. The Spurs twice. Then they have the Magic as well. So they have 3 games. The Magic starts the homestand. They have 3 games before the Nets come to Chase Center. You would like to win those 3. Now, there's nothing the Warriors have done all season to make me believe that they can win 3 in a row. Because they have not won 3 in a row. They're better than the Spurs. They're better than the Magic. And I've said this before. I've never seen the Magic play, but I'm willing to say they're better than the Magic. You can win those 3. Drop it to the Nets. I'm not saying don't show up, but the Nets are really good. The Nets are the favorite to go all the way. Then you get the Cavs and the Heat. Get one of those. And then you get the Magic again. So you get 2 out of those 3. Because I hate to keep harping on the Magic when I actually haven't seen them play that much. So you get 2 out of those 3. And now you're back rolling again. But you cannot... I just don't feel like you can split against the Spurs. I just don't feel like you can. I feel like you have to choose... On these baseball series, you have to find a way to sweep a team. And they've done it. I think they did it against the Kings. I mean, yeah, the Kings are trash. Okay? You have to be able to do it against other teams if you want to slide into the playoffs and not end up in this play-in game situation, which I know they don't want to. So it'll be interesting to see what happens next. I think that, you get Pascal back, you get Looney back, but you still don't have Looney. Looney would have helped with some of the size issues, and maybe you can start to feel better about it. But as of right now, I want to hope, and I want to be like, okay, you take 2 against the Spurs, you take it against the Magic, you win 3 in a row, and just, hey, any given Saturday, Steph on a Saturday, Mike Breen, Nets, if the Warriors can score like this, the Nets can't play defense. Maybe you hang around and good luck to you, bro. But you cannot go in there with more than 1 loss. And I really hope that there's just not a loss. But we'll see what happens, man. I think everybody is probably starting to prep and get ready for the good old Super Bowl tomorrow. I'm not really sure. I mean, I'm actually personally, I'm golfing tomorrow before I get my cooking in and things like that. I'm not really sure who I want to win because, like I said, I'm a Raider fan, but Tuck rule with Tom Brady. At least he's not on the Patriots anymore. And I don't know who I think is going to win. So I could give you a pick. All I know is every time I've picked against Tom Brady, he's burned me. But the one time I did pick Tom Brady, they lost, which was one of the times he lost to Eli Manning. So I'm all screwed up. I'm betting the Gatorade. I'm betting, the over-unders on the national anthem. That's what I'm focusing on because you cannot trust me for the actual game at this point in time. But back to the Warriors, man. There's not really much else to say. Luka went off. The stars went off. This is exactly what the NBA loves. Okay? Steph goes off. Luka goes off. Warriors lose. What could be more perfect than that? What could be more perfect than that unless you are a Warrior fan like myself? Now, they have a good chance. They have a good run against the Spurs and the Magic. You have to take 2 out of 3. Hopefully you take 3 in a row. 3 in a row would be the best stretch that they've had all season. And you head into Saturday night. For the Nets, the big 3, KD will be playing. And you see what happens. But I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I know you're probably trying to stay as sober as possible before tomorrow. Make sure you stay safe out there as you always do. My name is Alan Styles. You've been listening to The Warriors Way. Twitter, I am at @the_Styles Files. Styles with an I. I got to remember to put that on this so you guys can follow me while I'm going. I'll do that for the next episode. Once we do it, celebrating their win against the Spurs. Until next time, be safe, be well, be wise. Peace.